Hello, good evening and welcome to Express News. This is the show where we get you all your rapid fire updates. I'm Gautam Roy. First up, let's turn to what's happened with the Prime Minister. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered inaugural address at the National Metrology Conclave 2021. The conclave was organized by Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi on the 75th year of inception. Further on, what happened in the conclave was that the Prime Minister clearly said that Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya would help the industry to make quality products in sectors like heavy metals, pesticides, pharma and textiles by drafting a certified reference material system. He added that this is a system that is dedicated to the nation. The Prime Minister said Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya would help the industry to make quality products in sectors like heavy metals, pesticides, pharma and textiles by drafting a certified reference material system. He added that now the industry is moving towards consumer-oriented approach instead of regulation-centric approach. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister lauded Indian scientists for successful approval of 2 COVID vaccines in this year. He said India's COVID vaccination program is the largest in the world and is about to be started. He lauded the scientific institutions in the country, including CSIR, for coming together to find solutions for every challenge faced by the country. Prime Minister Modi urged CSIR to interact with school students to raise awareness about the efforts of the institute. He said this would inspire and motivate them to become scientists in the future. He praised CSIR NPL for having played an important part in the evolution and evaluation in the development of the country. 6th Prime Minister expressed happiness over CSIR NPL National Atomic Time Scale, which he dedicated to humanity today. He said that India has become self-reliant in measuring time within the range of a nanosecond. The 7th round of meeting between central government and farmers' representatives was held at Vigyan Bhavan. Next round of meetings was scheduled for the 8th of January. Union Ministers Narendra Singh Tomar, Piyush Goyal and Som Prakash, along with government officials and representatives of farmers, observed a 2-minute silence for farmers who died during the ongoing protest. Income Tax Department today recorded the statement of Robert Vadra in connection with a Benami property case. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. JAISHANKAR will undertake an official visit to Sri Lanka from the 5th to the 7th of January. He'll hold discussions with his counterpart in Sri Lanka's leadership on the entire gamut of bilateral relations. In Jammu and Kashmir, traffic on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway has been suspended due to fresh snowfall at several points on the National Highway, including Jawahar Tunnel. Traffic has been suspended from UDHAMPUR to Srinagar due to the closing of the highway. Hundreds of trucks were left stranded at various points of the highway at UDHAMPUR. Severe cold wave has been sweeping across North India for the past few weeks. Northeast-southwest oriented cloud clusters have shifted eastwards, giving slight relief from rains over Haryana, northeast Rajasthan and Delhi. In a tragic incident in Ghaziabad district in Uttar Pradesh, at least 24 people were killed and several others injured when the roof of a structure in Muradnagar's crematorium collapsed on Sunday. President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Modi and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath have extended condolences over the loss of lives in the Muradnagar tragedy. 3 people, including Muradnagar Municipality Executive Officer, have been arrested and a case has been registered against 5 accused in the roof collapse case. Mumbai Sessions Court has sentenced gangster CHHOTA RAJAN and 3 others to 2 years of imprisonment in connection with an extortion case. Union Education Minister Ramesh Nishank Pokhriyal will announce the eligibility criteria for admission in IITs and the date for JEE Advanced on the 7th of January. The Supreme Court says it will hear a PIL next week seeking urgent steps to protect forests and wildlife in the wake of the forest fires in Uttarakhand. The PIL seeks directions for the central and state government to frame a policy to prevent wildfires in Uttarakhand. Central GST Delhi West Commissionerate has unearthed evasion of GST by way of manufacture and clandestine supply of Gudka and Pan Masala apart from tobacco products without any registration and payment of duty. The police have arrested one person for violating provisions of the CGST Act 2017. The arrested person has been sent to judicial custody for 14 days. Further investigation is underway in the matter. The Custom Department has arrested one person in Chennai for smuggling 261 grams of gold worth 32 lakh rupees from Dubai. The gold has also been seized. The Indian benchmark indices regained momentum and were trading close to 0.5% higher in the noon deals on Monday's volatile session. The Sensex ended 307.82 points higher or 0.64% at 48,176.80 and the Nifty added 114.4 points or 0.82% to settle at 14,132.9, both record closing highs. The broader Nifty, in fact, was trading around the 14,000 level. It was up by 114.4 points at closing. Gold prices rose by 939 rupees to reach 51,173 rupees per 10 grams. Silver prices also saw a hike of 2,049 rupees to settle at 70,161 rupees per kg. The rupee opened at 73.12 today but depreciated against the US dollar to close at 73.02. Crude oil prices jumped by 1.62% to climb to 3,585 rupees per barrel. With a sustained, proactive and calibrated approach, the daily new cases in India are on a sustained decline. 16,504 new cases were added to the national tally in the last 24 hours. The decline in daily cases ensured a consistent fall in the active case load. India's active case load has now fallen to 2,43,953 today. The share of active cases in the total positive cases has further compressed to merely 2.36% of the cumulative case load. A net decline of 3,267 cases has been recorded in the total active cases during the last 24 hours. India's total cumulative tests have crossed 17.5 crore and 7,35,978 samples were tested during the last 24 hours. India's testing infrastructure has seen a significant boost with 2,299 labs across the country. 1 crore tests were conducted in the last 11 days. Higher testing has led to further decline in the cumulative positivity rate, which is now 5.89%. With rising recoveries and decline in daily new cases, India's cumulative recoveries are moving closer to 1 crore. The total recovered cases are nearing 99.5 lakhs today, which translates to a recovery rate of 96.19%. 19,557 cases have recovered in the last 24 hours. 76.76% of the new recovered cases are observed to be concentrated in 10 states and union territories. Kerala has reported the maximum number of single-day recoveries with 4,668 recoveries. Maharashtra follows with 2,064 new recoveries. West Bengal recorded another 1,432 daily recoveries. 83.90% of the new cases are concentrated in 10 states and union territories. Kerala reported the maximum daily new cases numbering 4,600 in the last 24 hours. Maharashtra recorded 3,282 new cases while West Bengal reported 896 new cases yesterday. 10 states and union territories account for 77.57% of the 214 case fatalities that have been reported in the last 24 hours. 16.35% of new fatalities have been reported from Maharashtra, which has reported 35 deaths. West Bengal and Kerala follow with 26 and 25 deaths each. A total of 38 samples have been found to be positive with the new UK variant genome as well. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan and the BJP have slammed the opposition parties for creating confusion on the vaccine issue, calling it an insult to Indian scientists. The Health Minister has said that different standards earmarked for emergency use licenses for Covishield and Covaxin. As of now, 8 crore 55 lakh cases have been reported worldwide, with over 18 lakh 50,000 deaths. Over 6 crore patients have already recovered from the virus globally. The United States continues to remain the worst hit country by the pandemic so far and has crossed over 2 crore mark. The US has reported over 2 crore 11 lakh cases of the virus, with the death toll surging past the 3 lakh 60,000 mark. In the UK, the opposition Labour Party's leader Keir Starmer on Sunday said that British Prime Minister Boris Johnson must implement a national lockdown within the next 24 hours. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said on Sunday that Britain hopes to provide tens of millions of vaccinations over the next 3 months. Top US infectious diseases expert Anthony Fauci warned that the mutated strain of COVID-19 was in the US and will spread. Latin American countries reported over 1.3 crore confirmed COVID-19 cases as of Sunday, with the caseload in Brazil, worst hit country in the region, nearing 77 lakh. German police chased day trippers off the slopes of a closed ski resort on Sunday after hundreds of people had flocked to Winterberg, east of Dusseldorf, defying appeals from authorities to stay home and respect coronavirus lockdown restrictions. In Brazil, the state of Sao Paulo, the most populous in the country, has registered over 46,000, followed by Rio de Janeiro with over 25,000 deaths. In Sao Paulo, the government has announced entering the red phase in force, which only allowed essential commercial activities to operate. Argentina registered 5,884 new cases on Sunday to add up national count to 16.4 lakh. The Argentinian government has extended mandatory social distancing measures until January. More Australian states and territories reimposed travel restrictions to prevent the spreading of the coronavirus from new outbreaks in New South Wales and Victoria states. Victoria closed its borders to all travellers from New South Wales after 8 new COVID-19 cases were reported. Kenya is extending its nightly curfew to the 12th of March as part of measures aimed at taming the spread of COVID-19. The New Year spirit still lingers in the Russian capital after snow fell across the city. Many people flocked to the parks and filled the city centre, although many shops were closed for the end of the year holidays. Dozens of German families took to slopes to enjoy a winter wonderland north of Frankfurt. The 880-meter high Gosserfeldberg mountain is a popular local recreation area for residents of Germany's financial capital, Frankfurt. Spanish rescuers in northern Spain located a snowplow half buried in snow as they stepped up the search for its operator who went missing during an avalanche. Under mysterious yellow and blue lights in South Korea's largest 2,200-ton water tank called the Ocean, 2 divers dressed in the country's traditional costume, hanbok, swam alongside stingrays, sharks and other fish. Belgium's Antwerp Zoo Society released a video of a mommy bonobo holding her baby, whom she gave birth to on New Year. The bonobo was moved this summer to Plankendale Zoo. Now, with the birth of the baby bonobo, the group now numbers 20 at the zoo. The newborn will also be able to play in the group with 2-month-old Vyombo. A woman costumed as a mermaid was seen posing on Indonesia's Kuta beach, after which people thought her to be an actual mermaid. Later, Kuta Beach Management Unit clarified that the woman was posing for a picture at the beach. Snakes slither on the backs and faces of customers to provide relief from pain in Egypt's small Cairo spa. Masseurs in the spa use a combination of pythons or around 28 different types of non-venomous snakes for those partaking in the adrenaline-fueled 30-minute session. COVID-19-induced lockdowns shackled businesses too in France. Fishmongers received smaller than usual customers even during New Year celebrations. A captivating swarm drone display illuminated the skies over Scotland as part of Edinburgh's Hogmanay Festival. Videos showed drones taking off and forming various shapes, including a luminous stag seen flying across the sky. Sports Line: India and Australia cricket teams, their support staff and the match officials for the ongoing test series have tested negative for COVID-19. The tests were administered on Sunday and the results were received today. The third test of the series that stands level at 1-1 will be played in Sydney. The SCG test will be played in front of 25% capacity crowds. Australian pacer James Pattinson is ruled out of the third test against India due to a bruised ribs. The match is scheduled to be held at the SCG from the 7th to the 11th of January. A replacement has not been named for Pattinson, who got injured after a fall at home. Pattinson last played against India in a tour match in the lead-up to the opening test of the series, picking up 3 wickets. Kane Williamson scored a century against Pakistan in Christchurch Test. He now has a century in every test he has played this summer. Manchester City produced a ruthless attacking display to cruise past Chelsea 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. The visitors stunned Chelsea with the 3 goals in 16 first-half minutes. The result lifted City up to 5th in the table, 4 points off Liverpool and Manchester United, with a game in hand on both. Chelsea now drops to 8th. Pep Guardiola waxed lyrical about his players after Manchester City's irresistible display at Chelsea moved them to within striking distance of the Premier League summit. Guardiola's men have struggled to hit top form so far this season, but their performance against Chelsea has sent a strong message towards their rivals. Frank Lampard's job at Chelsea is under serious threat, with the club sitting in 8th place following 4 defeats in 6 Premier League games. The Blues were beaten by City to add to Lampard's recent woes at Stamford Bridge, following previous defeats to Everton, Wolves and Arsenal. Leicester beat Newcastle 2-1 in English Premier League. Goals from James Maddison and Yuri Tillemans secured 3 points for the Foxes. Brendan Rodgers believes his Leicester City side can disrupt the Premier League hierarchy after moving within a point of leaders Liverpool. Sunday's win lifted the Foxes back up to 3rd. Cristiano Ronaldo overtook Pele as the second highest goal scorer of all time with a brace for Juventus in their 4-1 win against Udinese on Sunday. The Portuguese forward scored his 758th goal of his illustrious career. Pele registered 757 goals during his career for Santos, New York Cosmos and Brazil between 1956 and 1977, but now sits 3rd in the all-time list, with Ronaldo now 1 behind Josef Bican's total of 759. With this win, Juventus moved up to 5th in the Serie A table. Lionel Messi marked his 500th league appearance for Barcelona by offering his 300th league assist to give Barcelona a 1-0 win over Huesca. Messi was also playing his 750th game in all competitions for Barcelona. Only Xavi has played more matches than him. Bayern Munich began the new year with an emphatic comeback victory to go back to the top of the Bundesliga in a 5-2 defeat of struggler Mainz. Bayern was stunned as Mainz raced into a 2-0 half-time lead, but a better second-half performance ensured it was a happy return to action after the break. AC Milan saw off Benevento on Sunday to return to the top of Serie A. AC Milan now leads city rivals Inter Milan by a point. The 51st edition of the International Film Festival of India has announced its international jury with eminent filmmakers from across the world. The jury will comprise Pablo Cesar as chairman, Prasanna Bhattanage, Abu Bakr Shakri, Priyadarshan and Mr. Rubaiyat Hussain. Actress Richa Chadha dropped her first look poster of the film Madam Chief Minister. The film revolves around an untouchable woman who rose to the top. This day is also remembered as the 27th death anniversary of renowned musician R.D. Burman, who was popularly known as Panchanda. We pay a heartfelt tribute to him and look back at some of his evergreen songs as well. Filmmaker Farah Khan has announced that her Twitter account has been restored days after it was hacked. The filmmaker expressed gratitude through a tweet to Twitter India and film community for restoring her account. Actor Sonu Sood will feature in the film Kisan. Megastar Amitabh Bachchan sent his good wishes to the star for the upcoming film. The makers of Kangana Ranaut's Tara Dhakar have roped in Japanese cinematographer Tetsu Nagata for the film. The movie is being produced by Sohail Maklai. Veteran actor Tanya Roberts has passed away at a hospital in Los Angeles. The 65-year-old actress and her demise has come after she collapsed while walking her dog in December. South Korean top K-pop bands, including members of EXO, Super Junior and TVXQ, performed in an online concert for domestic and global fans. Other leading singers of the country's major management agencies also participated in the free concert to mark the new year. Veteran television host Larry King is tested positive for COVID-19. The 87-year-old host has been admitted to a hospital in Los Angeles. And Sweden's Göteborg Film Festival is set to carry out cinema's ultimate social distancing experiment for 2021. The festival is inviting a single film fan to spend 7 days alone on an isolated island in the North Sea with only the festival's films for company. And that's all we have at the moment in this edition of Express News. All the latest continues right here on DD India. Do stay tuned and stay safe.